hello YouTube, it is Damien. It's the Rise of a Nation. It's episode 9, and today here at SFB, we have the first game in the first division in Denmark. So obviously the division below the Superliga, and a lot has gone on this year. We are currently 8 hours and 11 minutes into a stream. Like, if I just to back this up, just to make sure you guys know, right? Free bring my chat down here once it comes in, right? And I go uptime, right? 8 hours and 11 minutes. All I'm going to say about that is I reckon at least 7.5 of those hours, since obviously we got promoted and won the league, have been spent scouting players, going for every nook and cranny, and looking to see what we can get on a semi-professional budget to contend with the teams that are in this division. I think there's a few things to talk about. First thing is we don't really have the money to really go about doing much of this. We actually got under the wage budget. We spent pretty close to it, and I could go over, but I feel like if we're going to be in a relegation fight, I feel like the board have to be on board with me in terms of the payroll to probably keep me in the job. All right? Second thing that I am going to have a look at here is if you go to the season preview, you guessed it, predicted to finish 250th to 1. But have a look at some of the players that are in this division. An Icelandic international. A Dane that looks amazing. You know, all of a sudden, an Albanian that looks pretty good. You know, another Danish player that looks pretty experienced. You know, you got a Finnish international in the middle of the park in the dream team. You got another one there too. You got Gordino, who's played for South Africa plenty of times. You got Misalov there, the Swedish international. You have got players that look pretty insane and out of this world, right? And compared to a little old us, there is not much to go on. Professional club that's predicted, he's their key player. Well, keep an eye on him because I would love to sign him. Holy moly. If he ever wants to leave, I'll take him. Have a look at him. When does he turn 16? Not far away. I could get him on a loan. Would they let me loan him? Oh, what a sign. That 15-year-old. That 15-year-old looks good. But the main reason I clicked here is professional. We have a semi-pro club. There's one semi-pro club. I actually tried to sign this guy, by the way. Frederick would not come to me for any money. He wanted 550 to come to me. He went to another club for 375. I wanted him bad at right back. We didn't sign a right back in the end because I couldn't find a good one. So there's one professional club in the league. Another professional club. They came up with us from the third division. They were professional. There's us. I'm going to quickly click on that because I don't want you guys to see too much. Another professional club. Or actually semi-professional club. There's 2 other professional clubs but us in this division, I'm pretty sure. I've clicked on it. Yeah, there we are. I'm about to start. I do not believe I just saw this guy. Wow. Rightio. That's unfair. Right. Going to get into our transfers, but you saw one guy that we nearly got. And if I go into player trials, this is the player amount of people that we trialed at the club. And there's a few that got away. The biggest one was this one. Lado came in on a trial from Inter, and he was 5-star, and I'm like, oh my goodness. Went in for a contract, would have spent basically the budget on him, but he would have been that good. We would have used Ladell out wide and him up top, and him alone probably would have kicked 30 goals this season and saved us. In the end, he ended up wanting to go to Volderhem in the second division in the Netherlands. One that really got away. As you can see, he left Inter on a free. I hope he has a good time, but he hasn't scored in any of their under 20, under 19 games, but you know, he could have been here. There's a few other Victor Deads. He ended up going. He's got a bid to go somewhere else. He's not a bad fullback, as you can tell here from the scout reports. He would have been really good. He's actually going to one of the clubs in our division. Frederick, like I said, I really wanted him. Didn't want to come in. The 19-year-old would have been really good. Who else here that we've had in the end? Timothy came and went. Timothy, obviously from Spurs, people will know. But yeah, we've had a lot of people come in and a lot of people go no. And not want to come in because it's too much money. There's probably a few more in that list, but look, when you've been right back, another one, Javier Parr would have been really good to bring in at 20 as a Spaniard. went to go to back into Spain instead. A lot of people chose to go somewhere else instead of us. And I don't blame him. We are a semi-professional club, and a lot of these guys want to be professional footballers, but there is guys that did want to come in. All transfers. Let's have a look at the guys we did sign. First thing that we did do before I forget is we said that Ibsen, by the way, was going to come here on loan. He actually rejected us. We actually have a new president in, and he cut the link to OB now. So any chance of getting Pedersen, Ibsen in, or Robin or whatever is really going to struggle. I wanted Robin to come back in on loan. He didn't. His contract's expiring. Definitely keep an eye on that because I wouldn't mind getting him on a free contract. Robin, he's definitely in my list as well. But we did get Christoph Pedersen, and this is the first place to start. Loan him back in for the rest of the year. Good goalkeeper. I've actually found a couple of goalkeepers that could be on the level of him that we could make our own, that are a couple of years younger. But I love giving time to people that kept you up and time to people that give you in a division. And hey, he may go get first team football here, get up to 10, 11 one-on-ones at 23, hit this potential. We signed him on free when his contract expires at the end of the year there at Helsinger that went up to the Superliga in the season. And we pick him up on a free, and we have a guy that's established here at the football club already and would be really good. However, in terms of that, that's the only loan signing we made or brought back in from last year. That is it. The first signing here, though, on this screen is in this, and his name is Fredrik Andersen. We signed him very early on in the window because he's this good. He will play first team minutes this season. Harbro is wanted by a lot of clubs. He doesn't want to sign a part-time contract to be here. I'm more than happy to let Harbro go on a free. And then I'll play the 16-year-old in the middle. Look how good he is at 16, developing mentally for the level, unbelievable. Physically for the level, pretty damn good and will only develop, right? And technically he has a lot of 8 and 7s that with first team football will go into 9, 10s and 11s, which wouldn't be too bad. Happy girlfriend, happy life. She's home from work, so we are going to keep a thing. When it's an 8-hour stream, we've got to still keep due diligence and make sure everything else outside the stream is going well. Anyhow, but yeah, 12 determination, natural flair, great decision maker for the level as well. I haven't changed any of the attributes and how they look yet. And not until we are a professional football club and we can go after a bit of a caliber of player. These guys here will do a job. I think Andersen is definitely worth having a look. And it's definitely someone that we signed this season. And yeah, I think he could be really, 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 really good as well. There's one more here. I thought we would have been on the last page, on the next page. He's not. We needed a centre mid, like I said. Ibsen didn't want to come in. Harbro may look to leave. Carstrap was the hot prospect at Colding. Was made promises of first team football and had players come in the League One side. Didn't. Was worth 1.8k, I think, there at Colding. Was transfer listed for 0. We put a bid in of 0. They accepted. He came in here for £210, which is per week, which is not the worst, but not the best. €210, I should say. But 13 determination, physically for 17, really good, and is technically pretty damn decent. He's going to be playing week in, week out as a centre mid because he wanted to be on that centre mid role and support to join the club. I think this guy looks really good. He's going to play week in, week out. If we get relegated, he's going to carve the league up next year if he wants to stick around for that, of course, as well, because relegation probably is going to be what we're fighting for. We're one of 3 semi-professional clubs, and all the other semi-professional clubs at this level have money to pay for good enough players that are willing to take a step to a semi-professional club, but are still good enough to perform in this division. Well, we aren't, and yeah, we're really struggling. But yeah, Will looks good. Expect to see Will. He's going to start today as well. And then if we go to our actual season here, we've got some signings. I'm gonna go by maybe level of importance and more. We struggled for a right back. In the end, I actually signed this guy, Frank. He's 15. He doesn't turn 16 until January, December. I've got something stuck on my eye, which is not what you want to do when you're on a YouTube episode. Not until December, the 14th of December. Till then, he can't play, but he can play after that. Someone that's physically not bad at 15 will only develop good determination and not bad mentals for a young age for this level. And has also got decent technique, which will help him in terms of doing everything else. If he gets some minutes under his belt at 16, 17, he could actually develop into quite the footballer. And at right back, because I haven't had any options, I've signed Teo, who didn't want to sign a new contract last year, now on a contract for a week, £1 a week, because he just didn't want to leave the club on a free. Signed in Frank because of that. But then the rest of the signings, though, all first-team players. The latest one we did make is probably the least of importance, but Diamondov is not bad. Struggled to find quality out wide on the right. We said we needed that. I was actually tempted to use Liddell out wide, if the game wants to load me Liddell. There we go, because he naturally can play out wide and has that potential, and he's quick enough to play out wide. And then Mark, who is making the bench over the duel, as you can see why. I'm currently training him to get his pace up. He's got that natural finishing and composure at the thing, and third in determination. I think out of all the kids from the youth intake, that isn't Mortenston who's starting, he's even better than the duel. So Mark, and he's banged in 20 goals in 11 under 19 games last season. So, and he scored goals in preseason. So expect to see a bit of Mark, right? You've 5 games, 6 goals in preseason. As you can see, 18 goals in the under 19s last year in 13 games and an 8. But yeah, so the idea was then, okay, Liddell goes wide and we'll play Liddell out wide and Mark may start the duel to the bench. In the end, Diamondov actually came up on the scout a couple of weeks ago, and he just offers everything you need for the level. He's got good amounts of pace for the level, mentally a very good footballer, the Bulgarian, and has technically got the right stats in the right areas, which is really what you want as well. Coming from the second league there, where he played 28 games last year, which is a very similar level to our league here in Denmark, I just thought, look, in a bit more of an aggressive system, he'll be okay. He's played 1 game for us in terms of a friendly, and he did well in it, and it was really good to see. The rest, though, the next 2 signings, though, both centre-backs, and unbelievable. One, us Australians will know, and Connor's here, correct. This guy joined us. Yeah. And if I'm leaving the other one till second, yeah. Our centre-backs are arguably a couple of the best centre-backs we have in the league. Wrestling and Magic Madsen, thank you for the follow. Where you're watching from, my man. But, yeah. Here, look how good Con is. For the level is unbelievable. We've got the big 3, great determination, physically a monster. I'm surprised that he wanted to take a step to a semi-professional club. Hello from Denmark and from the friendly Danish giant. How are you today? Not bad myself. Going through our transfers before we get into our first game in the first division, as we got promoted from the 3rd tier of football here last season. But yeah, on Everton, never got a game. He does join us without a work permit because he's also Greek. As well is Con. And Con comes in, he looks superb. Physically for the level, really good. And I think at centre-back, we made so much improvement that I reckon we're going to be amazing. The big one, though, is Molderberg. He's here on less wage, but on a heap and a heap and a heap of loyalty and appearance fees and things that are going to cost us a little bit. He is wow. He is wow. Thank you, Wrestling, for the host as well. Nice to see. But yeah, he's already a level 1 side player where I think Con is just currently operating. He's already at a good level and can improve. Alexander Molberg was one of the 2 teams that got promoted to the Superliga from this division. Helsingborg, and I think their name was Orbro or Holbro or something like that. Or Hobro. That got promoted last season. But yeah, you can see why. Physically amazing at 6'2", 22, so he's only going to develop. Mentally unbelievable and technically brilliant. The only thing he lacks, which Con has, is determination. Con has 70 determination, probably strive to improve as a footballer, where Alexander Molberg is happy to be at a part-time club because he's got lack of determination. For me, I do not care about that. He is next level, and your centre-back partnerships look really, really, really good. So when you go to the season preview, and they say that our team looks like this, I would agree with most of it. Will's going to play in the middle of the park. They reckon Anderson's actually going to start. Will goes to left back. It's an option, but not something I want to do. Jensen's definitely not playing. I'll show you he's going to play right back. But yeah, Diamondov is there. We're going to get one of the 2 youngsters in here, and obviously the Shun Liddell up top. Very similar to that. We look pretty good, and if you take this off and you scroll down the list, you actually get Molderberg and Con in the key players as well. Good luck, Burger Breath. I beat Bolivia last year with Australia pretty comfortably, like 4-1, I think, in the Copa America. So good luck, my man. I feel in the referee. Oh, don't worry. It happens here too. Look, enough has been said and done. The club's in a good spot. In terms of the club vision and that for this season, it's just for us to stay up. We're getting a little bit of lag, but we had FM open for the last 9 hours, so a little bit of lag's going in. But yeah, we're staying under the payroll, and that's why I'm not signing a right back right now. It's the last position I needed. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to say, hey, look, whether they stay happy with me with this, because it's required, and then hopefully They'll keep me in the job if I do get relegated, because it's just to fight bravely, which is really good, and reach the third round, which hopefully I can do. We did get a tough draw. We got B93, and that game there will be the next episode after this one. Anyway, we do have SFB, and me and the assistant actually agreed on this. And at right back, we do have Teo. Now, the story behind Teo is he wanted £150 when his contract was expiring last season. I said, no, look, you can leave on a free if you want. I don't care. In the end, after a couple of months, I said, okay, do you want a contract now? And he took £1 per week to be a part-time player here, which is really nice. And he's going to start today. I just think physically for the level, at least he's going to be able to chase down strikers and everything like that. The determination here, a 14 as well. Crossing is okay, but he can tackle, but that's really, technically, he's pretty poor. You guys know Christoph Pedersen in goals. And he's still got Lassie Pedersen, his younger cousin, still on the bench as well. We know about him. You've seen Moberg and Con, and Mortensen is going to start. Brems is on a free, don't want him. This guy's 17. He's going to be good enough. One of the few contingent of the youngsters here that you will definitely see throughout the year. Will and Harborough. Harborough doesn't want a new contract. If I'm going to offer him one, you watch him say, yeah, exactly. I don't care, mate. Diamondov is going to make his debut here. Mickey Elson, he's got the nod over Achimpong, but expect to see Achimpong join there, because Achimpong is on a part-time contract, but Mickey Elson doesn't want to sign one. If he does, he wants £300 a week. I'm not going to offer him that. Dynamov up there, Liddell on the shoe, you know. In terms of the bench, some people you won't know, Klaus Krul can play left back, Taru start 16, good backup as well. Fairly okay for the level, and can play right back okay. Nielsen, watch out for, he'll play minutes this season. At 16, he actually looks really good at centre back, technically pretty good for the level as well. So it'll be very interesting to see how we use Mr. Nielsen in there as well. Frederick Anderson, who I highlighted, you'll probably see him make his debut today and definitely play minutes. Mads is still here, is another midfielder that can be a bit more defensively minded. Achimpong you've seen, and obviously Mark, who we will throw in the games when we need goals. And there's a few other people to keep your eye on out, like the Jewel, Jensen if we run into right back trouble big time, Alton can play at the back. And yeah, outside of that, then the rest of the team is pretty standard. The team we are playing today are predicted to finish just outside the relegation zone as well, but it'll be interesting to see what we do. We need to give some numbers to some people. Diamondov is going to wear number 20, and the rest I don't really care about. Yeah, that will do. And we'll go and hopefully see how we think. Williams, please, be making his debut, which I'm really happy with. Some players are a bit concerned. Some players are really high. I'm happy with how the system is. I just feel like last season, our best foot is playing on front forward, attacking, gegenpressing football. Put the people in the right spot. Know that the shoe gets a chance. That electrician from Southern Borg will do a job up top. Know Liddell knows how to work off the shoe. Mads Mikkelsen, if you get him going forward, he's dangerous. Diamondov has the quality to beat a man. And then we're just going to have to hope Molderberg and Con get a really good understanding together very quickly, and we can win games. I feel for us to stay up, these big 6-pointers at home, we need to win, get points on the board, and then hope that's enough to keep us there. Get into that relegation page where everyone plays each other once or twice, at the end of the season to see if you stay up or not. And then, yeah. I'm going to tell the boys to go out there and impress me. I'm also going to tell them individually, defenders, I have faith. Midfielders, I have faith. And attackers, I have faith on the opening day. Keep them really happy. In terms tactically, what we are going to do here as well as in the opposition, unfortunately, I would love to set us to press the wide areas like I do at Leeds, but because we don't have the work rate and we're not going to get that until they are professional footballers that are training week in, week out, I'm just going to limit in what we do on the press, but just press in the areas. It's us in the white, it's them in the red. It's our first game in the second tier of Denmark football, in the first division, as they call it here. Score predictions in the chat. 8 hours and 30 minutes into the stream, and we have a highlight, and it's a free kick from distance, and Pedersen makes a big save. We've backed him in this season. We've loaned him back in. We could have maybe gone for another goalkeeper. He's on a free, no money, and hopefully we'll do the job. Ball gets headed over the bar. If someone offered me a draw right now, I would take it, and it's 0-0 inside 10 minutes. We're yet to have a chance. And this is the thing. We are going to be like this for the foreseeable future. It's just us up, backs against the wall. Anyway, Jensen heads over the bar. And there we go. A couple of highlights, but mainly for them. And this was the worry. We're going to go into games like this and just get a little bit more, pumped. It's going to be hard for us to create chances. We've just got to be good at the back and hope this system's good enough to win the ball and go. We've had a shot eventually in the half, yet to see it. But we know we're good enough on our day to do a job. And this is the sort of game we wouldn't mind trying to pinch a win into. Anyway, 40 minutes played, at the moment, 0-0 and a free kick from distance. I don't know who's out there that can take it, really. William Carstrop on debut. Goes for goal, and in the end forces a good save out of Nybo, the 17-year-old with a decent free kick. It's not a good thing that Nye Cobing, who came up with us, a 3-0 down on their professional side, and they came up with us. That's probably not a good thing for us. But in the end, Hardbro now, it's a good thing in terms of the result, but it kind of means we're going to lap the level. And Teo's early cross we don't get to see the end of. 0-0 at half-time. And in the end, it wasn't the worst half from us. I'm going to tell them I'm happy with that. I would take an opening, very boring draw on the opening day. I would also wouldn't mind taking us getting a win as well. Time is ticking away here, though. We're struggling to exert some quality out there. I'm going to just tell us to demand a little bit more here. And we'll start making changes a bit later to see if we can pinch this game. In the end, it's a highlight, though, and Teo throws and the shoe's on it. The first time we see him in this division on the ball. Teo's ball in. Liddell hits it. Oh, it was a chance. A big chance for us to steal a lead. It didn't come in. We're going to make our first change here. And it is going to be for Achimpong for Mad as a bit more of a winger running at people. And that's our first change. 70 minutes played. A game that's lacked a little bit of quality. But we know we can turn it on a dime. Long ball through, headed away by Mortensen into Liddell, touches Achimpong off the bench, into William Carstrop, finds Mortensen, first time ball to Liddell, touches, hits, it's in, and the first goal for us in the new division is Liddell. Mortensen starting at left back, what a ball, and we're 1-0 up in our first game in our new division. We've been a little bit backs against the wall in the first half, but we've worked ourselves into the game. What a half volley first time cross. Liddell finishes and it's 1-0 SFB. Wow. And this could be huge for us too. This could be massive. Going to stay on this system now and then start making a bit more defensive change in the 85th. The 81st minute, a goal for them would be devastating. And Mortensen's missed the ball there. And Holvard running down the line cuts it. That's a goal. Oh, maybe we should have parked the bus as soon as we scored. That could haunt us. 1-1 just like that. Literally saying that we'll go defensive in the 85th if we get there. Now it's a case of, well, it's 1-1 with 10 minutes to go. Do we chase a winner? Or do we take a point on the opening day? Feel like we're going to keep it on the same system. We could see another one late. I would not like it. Mark's going to come in for the shoe. That's a big call. The shoe usually does a job. I'm actually going to move these two around. I feel like Mark's really good as an advance forward. But yeah, we'll see what you do. Actually, can Mark play poacher decently well? Get him on as a poacher. Screw it. Mark, get in the poacher role. Anyone else that we're going to bring in here? Not just yet. Actually, Frederick Anderson in right now for Hardbro as an advanced playmaker and support as well. Get himself a debut, the 16-year-old with 10 minutes to go. Can we find a late one, maybe? Time is ticking. Still going. Is there going to be a highlight late doors? Or is it going to be a 1-1 draw on the opening day? We played ourselves into some form then. Maybe a little bit, I'm not going to say a little bit unlucky to have drawn, because it does warrant a draw in terms of the stats. But the fact we went 1-0 up with 10 minutes to go and then conceded straight away, I feel a little bit hard done by. Not in terms of whether you FM'd or anything, but hard done by in the fact that the thinking was, let's go defensive in the 85th. But if we went defensive from kickoff, maybe we could have held on. And that's hindsight. And the second thing is, if we go defensive from kickoff and they score in the 80th minute, we then have to have 10 minutes of pressure on us fighting for a draw. At least by staying on the aggressive system and then can score him before the 85th, it gives us a chance still in the system to try and win. Look, on the opening day against a team that's going to be in and around the relegation zone of us, that was not the worst performance. I'm happy with that performance, boys. And that is that. That's the opening day done. That wasn't bad. Look, it's a point towards staying up. That's all I'm looking at. It's not a point towards fighting to mid-table, to get promoted, nothing like that. That is a point for us to stay up. That's one ticked off. And if we can keep a run going, right? Aloy has a birthday to forget. Today wasn't the 4th, right? I have a game on my birthday in 3 days' time. If we can keep winning games at home, winning and drawing games at home, and then the away games, whatever happens, we will be thereabouts to fight to stay up with a month to go. And if we even in the relegation zone, but only a win outside of staying up with a month to go, we're going to be in with a shot to stay up. And that is the goal. Look, it was the goal last year. We ended up getting promoted. This year, I'm not even thinking of that. Well, last year I was like, oh, we went on a run of form, like, oh, maybe we do have the quality, and we did. This year is like, no, just stay up. We're a semi-professional club. I don't care how you stay up, just stay up. Anyhow, that's going to be the end of the episode, lads. Just going to wait for the game to finish simming so I can save. And yeah, what a performance on the opening day. The Dull got a goal. We'll be okay. This is taking forever. Just don't crash right now, is all I'm going to say. Because I want you guys to see that we saved after the end of the game as well. YouTube. If you have liked the episode, go like and subscribe. Links down below. We're currently live on stream 8 hours and 40 minutes of streaming today. Doesn't happen every Tuesday because we usually go play golf, but here we are. And this is taking a little bit of time to get to the next day. Hurry up. There we go. All right, we're going to save the game and that'll be done. All right, YouTube, that's the end of the episode now. Eventually we got there too. And I'll see you next time for the SFB Cup game and the league game that follows it. I'll do something like that and then we can test ourselves against an opponent. But for me and everybody else here, I'll see you next time. Thank you and goodbye.